It doesn't seem like that it's been 7 weeks since the start of this class. As I said in my paper, it kind of feels like we hit the ground running. In a sense, there was so much information and so many topics that it seemed that we just covered so much. And I have a few takeaways from that. So I myself am an early childhood special education teacher. So when I think about collaboration or being a part of a team or anything like that, I always thought that I was doing a good job. And I think that I truly, after taking this course, I feel like I can reflect on myself and what I've learned that I have done a good job. But there's always room for improvement. Um, we started this course with kind of why you use collaboration, which I completely agree with. Um, that the collaborative model is so beneficial, um, not only to special education students, but typically developing students, gifted students, just all students in general. There are so many different ways to go about it, so many different strategies that prior to this course, I really didn't think, probably because I have just a very specific student demographic of all my students are on IEPs. I didn't really think about the typical learners or those students that are gifted benefiting from, collaboration. And really they do, because it brings many professionals together to problem solve. It's literally putting all these amazing brains and knowledgeable teachers into one setting to collaborate, to problem solve the best practices for each student, not just students on IEPs. This includes teachers, related service providers, parents, paras, anyone else who sees the students day in and day out. Kind of how they say those two heads are better than one. It was kind of truly learned in this course and reflected upon. Because really, when you have so many people trying to do its best, you want to take these ideas and really truly reflect on what is going to be the best for each individual student. I think, thinking back on myself, like collaborative strategies such as asking for help when needed, communication, using open communication, defining roles, and actively listening truly were reflective for me. I always feel like I am a quick learner, but reflecting, I don't really ask for help when needed. I am more of a, well, I'll do it type of person. And when you are working with a ton of people trying to find out what's best, they need to know how they can help you, how you can help them, etc., which really opens up the communication. Um, and then we kind of get into stakeholders and roles and perceptions, and the IEP team members, and what was required for each, and the different roles and responsibilities of all those on the team. It was kind of eye-opening to see just how many people can be on one team. Whereas I'm used to, related service providers, teachers, paras, parents. For some other students, it could be many different teams that are collaborating together to find what's best for that student. Um, and then we kind of go into like the interpersonal behavior, um, and kind of up until this module, I don't know that I'd really given any thought to it, because I don't know. I guess I just thought of myself and that my students and their practices kind of follow mine. And kind of reflecting on this, it was eye opening to see just like mistakes I've made. I have students who are very culturally diverse, um, and one particularly, I had tried to shake his hand, the father, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't touch you." And I never had thought about that because I shake hands and that's a sign of respect. But to him, touching another woman besides his spouse was disrespectful. So this just kind of gave me some perspective Um, and I feel like interpersonal behavior, collaboration, and collaborating in general kind of go hand in hand, which kind of went into biases as well. Because reading biases, no one ever wants to think they're biased, especially when you're an educator. But we talk about implicit and explicit biases, and I think that I did have some others that I kind of discovered. Um, which that's hard to admit, but it's true. We just need to, and I especially just need to get away from that. Um, and then also, with conflicts and resolution and how kind of to handle that as a teacher and as a helper to kind of move things along, to understand that conflicts will arise and how to resolve them in a manner that will help the student make other people feel important and kind of get things done so this doesn't happen again. Overall, I feel like this course was super reflective. And I never want to take a course where I have to take it. It's a requirement. I want to be able to truly learn. And after kind of taking this course, I feel like I truly learned, which is super nice. And I feel like it was just a very reflective course where I had to dig deep. And so for that, I really appreciated it. Um,